Hello, friends, and welcome back to My Hobby Home. My name is Cathy. Thank you so much for joining me today. Welcome to our Sew Along Saturday. What we are doing today, this is our last Sew Along Saturday for the Sunbeam Quilt. This is in the Fat Quarter by the Dozen book. It is actually the very last quilt in the book. We will continue this pattern on Wednesdays. We will start a new sew along. The first week, Saturday in April, we'll have a new quilt that we're doing, and it's in the Takes Two Charm Quilt book. I can't recall the name of the quilt that I'm doing, but I will have that linked in the updates on Monday. So today, what we are doing is we have some squares left, and I think 48 is how many we have. This session, we will be taking our light color white, and we will be snowballing at the top of each square. And this is all we're going to do today. It is Friday night after the live with Tammy. After the live, I took a quick break, a little siesta. And now I'm ready to go again. So I'm ready to start sewing these. And I thought, we need to do this. And guys, I'm going to be honest with you. The only reason we're just doing this on the top is because we also do the same thing on the bottom, but it was with our accent fabric. And let me pull my little project bin over here so I can show you. This is my accent fabric. It is still all in one piece. I have not cut that yet. Time has just gotten away from me here lately. I have not gotten things done that I need to get done. But you know what? As long as I can get anything done at all, I'm good. So we're going to focus on what we can do and not what we can't at the moment. And what we can is get these pieces done. So I am just going to get started. And friends, if you can't do it, don't feel guilty about it. That is not what this is about. And if you need to take a rest, take a rest. I took me a little nap. I mean, it's probably after 11 o'clock p.m. But you know what? I don't work tomorrow. It is Saturday, and I am not doing anything that I don't want to tomorrow. I am taking a rest. When y'all see this, I am probably still in bed asleep. I'm getting where I have to have longer sleep. No, I probably won't be. I got to go to the UPS store tomorrow. So hopefully they'll be open in the morning at least until noon. But I'm feeling good now. I just had to have a little rest because I have been going since about 6 o'clock this morning. And it's still Friday, friends. It's still Friday. I've been going since about 6 o'clock this morning. Went and had my vehicle serviced, and then got to go see my chiropractor. And he told me we're just going to have to go slow because my back is locked up. And I'm like, that sounds like a good deal to me. I just need to get my back in function in order so I can stand up. I've let it go way too long. But last year I was focused on having that knee surgery. Made sure I got that all tended to because I know with my back, he's going to be pulling on my legs to get my hips back in place. Because I have a hip, friends, that does not want to stay in place. And he can tell when I'm laying on that table that it is out of place because one leg is shorter than the other. And to tell you how good my chiropractor is, I've been going to him for a really long time. I haven't seen him since March of last year. I come in and he's like, so you remembered how to get here? I said, I did. And I told him, I said, I had to focus on having a knee surgery. And he was like, a knee replacement? I told him, I said, well, my insurance wouldn't let them do the knee replacement, but they could do the scope. And I told him what they found, because of course he needs to know that. Now this is when I'm just signing in. I mean, he hadn't seen me yet. They had to do x-rays. So then when I go in there, he's, after they do the electric things to you that to kind of open your muscles up, to relax them. He asked me, he's like, now don't you have one that's up in Virginia? I said, well, Kentucky. Yeah, I do. And he said, well, he asked first how that grandbaby was. And I said, oh, they getting big. And he asked if that's where one. So I told him, I said, no, I said, they're in Little Rock now. He said, oh, well, that's a lot better. And he said, that's your son, isn't it? He's military. And I'm like, yeah. So this is a man that I haven't seen in almost a year. And he remembers grandbabies, and he remembers my son's in the military. So, I mean, he's a good man. He's a good doctor. He got my dad out of a wheelchair several years back because my daddy, he has a bad back too, and he had a disc slip, and my daddy couldn't walk at all. He was in a wheelchair. It was so painful for him to walk. And I finally talked my dad into going to this doctor. I'm like, please, before you have surgery, just go to this doctor. I'm like, just please go to this doctor. And he did. And, it took him 3 months, but he got out of that wheelchair. And now I'm having to beg my daddy again to go. He's hard-headed. Oh, my nose itching there. Had a little tickle going on. But friends, if you can't do the sew-alongs, that is perfectly fine. I mean, it's not a requirement. It's not going to hurt my feelings. But this quilt, this Sunbeam quilt, I'm telling y'all, I am excited about how this is going to come out. I'm very, very excited. I knew I had this fabric, and I just could not, for the life of me, think what I could use it on. And then this book came out. Now, I imagine I could have used the lighter colors as well, but I would have needed to use a different background, because the lightest color is about the same color as my background. And to me, that would have just blended too well. That's why I'm so happy when Amy sent these. She sent 2 of them. And Amy, if you're watching, I have seen that y'all are going to have like a So Happy shop hop down there in mid to South Louisiana in June, I believe. Girl, I'm coming. So we need to try to make a plan because I will be off work on Friday. Now, I can go Friday or Saturday, either day. Let me know what day y'all are going or what day you and your friend are going. And I can never remember her name. I'm so sorry. I'm just not good with names. I'm awful. But let me know what day y'all plan on going. And I know it's still months in advance. But maybe we can plan to, meet up, have lunch or something. I've already kind of done a roundabout thing on how I want to do it that day. I'm going to have to hit the road pretty early because I'm thinking about like heading over to the Lake Charles area first, or maybe Pineville and then Lake Charles. So I've kind of mapped it out because I will probably be ending in Pineville also because I'm going to stop and see my niece. Hopefully I'll get to see her that day if she's at home and get to see my little great nephew, that little sugar booger. He's so cute. He is a red-headed little old boy, my goodness, and looks just like his daddy. I mean, my grandson looks just like his daddy. But this little old boy, my goodness, it looks like somebody took his daddy's face and put it on his baby. He looks just like his daddy. But that's not a bad thing. His daddy's a nice man. He's good to my niece. But that little old boy, he's so happy and smiley. Oh, he's so precious. And Amy, this is the same one that I was telling you, there's two of you now. She's got the same last name as you. But I am planning on doing that shop hop because I want to go to Aunt Neil's quilt shop. After I saw that, I really wanted to go by there at the wedding, but I had occupants in my vehicle. And when you have ride-alongs, you just can't always do what you want to do. I had planned on just making a trip, and then I saw that shop hop, and I was like, oh, well, that's a great way to go to it. But I'm always going to end any trip in Mangham at my quilt shop. It's not my quilt shop. It's not, yeah, let me just say, it's not my quilt shop. It's Miss Ava's quilt shop. But it's my favorite quilt shop. Maybe I need to start including that word, my favorite. I love those ladies there. Yeah, I just can't tell you. And I don't know all of their names, but they are all so sweet. All of those ladies are so sweet and so helpful, and they all do classes and just help Miss Ava out so much. But friends, what I'm doing right now is all I'm going to be doing. I'm just taking this little bitty piece and putting on this little bit bigger piece. That's all I'm doing. Just simple, easy sewing today. And I started thinking, well, I said I was going to do a quilt a month, and here I am fixing to head into April, and I don't have a quilt done. But then I thought about it. I got those two. Didn't I do a Valentine one, I think? But I got those two quilts bound. And I've got one more quilt to bind. That can count as a third one. But I need to get on top of tracking my quilts and stuff, because I think I did, was it a Valentine table runner? Maybe it was a Valentine table runner that I did. I've got the fabric over here, the leftover fabric. And friends, for that next sew along, what I'm going to do, all these past few quilts that I've done, any fabric that I have left over for them, even if it's from the backing, I'm going to cut all that up in 5-inch squares and use it on that Just to Charm quilt. Like I said, I can't remember the name of that quilt, but I will have to get with it and cut that fabric up and box it up to get that project going. And I think I've decided, if I have enough dark gray fabric, that is probably the color I'm going to use as my background. But what I have left over out of this quilt, like I have scraps out of these fat quarters that I'm not using in this quilt. I'm going to cut them up and use them in my Just to Charm quilt. And then even like the Valentine fabric, I'm going to use that. Anything that has larger pieces that I can get 5-inch squares from, I will be using. So what that means is I will be pulling my AccuQuilt out one day. Hopefully this weekend. Hopefully I'll have time to do it. And I can get all of my 5-inch squares cut out of my scraps. I already have a lot of 5-inch squares cut. I'll need to find those. I think they're over here on this shelf. But I'll just need to find them and count out how many I have and how many I need. I'm probably going to try to stay with a particular color scheme. So guys, that means I'll be smashing my stash again with that, taking what I have and using it up. And that is what it's about to me, making use of everything I have. And that is my goal, is to kind of bring down my stash, because right now it's not really stash, it's scrap fabrics that I have. I have them stacked over here on the table beside me. And I need to get that stack down. I actually need to get my organization back. Oh, and friends, with that being said, once again, all these boxes right here, that's my Destash for tomorrow, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. For a small rehoming fee, I can get those boxes to you. Some of them are sew samplers, exactly what was in the boxes. Some are not. I do have 2 finished quilt tops. It's not the charmed, I'm sure, because as you can see, it is still not done. But it may be before the weekend's over. I just don't know. We got to see. Surprise, surprise, huh? I may even surprise myself and get it done this weekend, but I'm not going to hold my breath. Yeah, I'm sure when I start cutting down scraps to 5-inch squares, I have several boxes back here behind me that I can actually pull out, because that's all that's left in there is leftover fabrics from sew-alongs. So that I will have to do in the process of pulling fabrics for projects. We know the fabrics for the flowering will come out. Y'all, I am itching all over tonight. So if y'all see me like rubbing my nose, rubbing my ears, I got into something that's got me itching like crazy. I had pizza tonight, and I don't know if the yeast in that pizza, if I'm having a reaction to that. It probably is, because my mouth is really dry and I'm very thirsty, and normally that's a sign of me having a reaction. My mouth goes real dry. And yes, I actually have a wheat allergy. So oh, why is that saying my thread? My thread looks fine. Well, guys, I just got a warning about my thread. What's going on with my thread? My needle's threaded. I don't know. We're going to go on and get this. I'm going to cut that thread, rethread my machine, because I don't know what's going on here. I'll bring y'all back after I check this out. Okay, we're at it again. I checked it out. It don't look like anything was wrong with my top thread, but I pulled my bobbin and everything out. I will need a bobbin before long. Another fill up on that bobbin. But the Destash tomorrow is at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's going to follow the same format as always. Continental U.S. only. Because I just cannot ship internationally, because it costs probably twice what you pay for an item to ship it. Once the video is over, whoever makes a purchase will need to make sure to contact me by email with their name, their shipping address, especially zip code, so I can get an invoice over to you. I use PayPal invoicing, and then pay within, like 48 hours. I try to get the invoices out as soon as someone emails me, but I will be monitoring my email Sunday evening until 6 p.m. The premiere video will go not a full hour. I don't believe it's a full hour, but let's make this both of these so we can trim that corner off. So if you're interested in maybe rehoming some fabric, or actually projects, because that is what most of it is. I do have some cross stitch in there. I don't know if it's cross stitch or embroidery. I think it's cross stitch. I do know I have cross stitch in there. I have a Mill Hill kit in there. I have a Bare Roots kit in there. And y'all, that Mill Hill kit that I have is a hard to find one. And I looked it up online, and it is very, very expensive online. But I'm not doing even the lowest price that I saw. I'm doing it lower than that. Let's see, what else do we have? Like I said, I have some completed quilt tops in there. I have sew sampler boxes in there. I'm pretty much just getting rid of a lot of just a lot of things that were right here close to me that I'm destashing my sewing room, getting items out of here so I can focus, maybe. It's more than just focus. Y'all, some of these pieces you just cannot tell what the front and the back is. But we're trying to get, well, for you guys this morning, what I'm trying to get is at least an hour of sewing in with you guys. I think the video last night, the flowering was probably the longest one I've had in a really long time. But that block took, I'm going to say almost 2 hours to do. Just because there was a lot of trimming that had to be done. But it turned out beautiful. I'm so excited to get started on the finishing for that quilt. It is going to be beautiful. And that also, friends, was a smash in my stash. I was using fabrics up that's in my stash. And that was my motto in 2025. My motto again in 2026. We're smashing the stash because, guys, you know we have those little shopping hauls that bring in more fabric and exciting fabrics. We have shop hops and quilt shows. And when you go to a shop hop, you want to buy a little something, you know. And I know I do. I don't even have to go to a shop hop, honestly, friends. All I got to do is walk in a shop. And I want to come out with another quilt project. Not like I need any of them. But this year, what I'm trying to do, I want to go through all of my quilt books and do at least one quilt out of each book. Well, I know I can't do that because I have more than 12 books, friends. I do. I mean, who don't? I got a lot of books. But what I'm going to do is each book that I do a project out of, I'm going to put it up over here on my quilting shelf. I've got a bookshelf over here that's got fabric, just top to bottom in it. I store my bolts over there. I store my binders that's got my quilt patterns in it. It's the Missouri Star binders. And I've got a template binder over there. I've got bolts of interfacing. I've got layer cakes. I'm just looking, friends. I got so much over there. I've got yardage over there, and I've got projects, bagged projects over there. And those bagged projects are projects that I want to get to, but I'm not ever going to get to them if I don't start knocking some things out. This year, like I said, I'm doing my books. I'm trying to get a project out of my books. But if I can get my other projects done, I may have another one that I do just kind of slow and steady. I just do it, once a month, one day a week, whatever. But we'll have to wait and see. We'll wait and see how that goes. Okay, I'm moving fabric out of my way. I have got to... No, I don't. Yeah, I do. I've got to trim these and press these, and I will be right back. Okay, friends, we now have all of our pieces with that top left block. So we're going to keep on and do the top right. Whew, that took a little bit of doing there. That has gotten us almost to an hour, actually. It is never my intention for you guys to have an hour-long video. So if they ever end up long, that means I ran my mouth a lot. And that's not hard for me to do. But with it being as late as it is, I'm trying to only record for an hour, and it looks like I'm not going to get all of my blocks done. But if I don't, that's okay. That is okay, friends, because I can pick up right where I left off, and I'm probably going to be, the day y'all are seeing this is Saturday, and I am probably going to be having a catch-up day on Saturday. You know, with all the things I need to catch up, this is one of the things I'm working on and will probably need to catch up. It's just nice some days to get in the sewing room and just sew. No rhyme or reason or means of to be gotten done. Just getting in there and doing that. And this project will be perfect for that. Now, friends, that Destash tomorrow is only the tip of the iceberg of what I need to get through. Those are just the easiest things to get through. It's easier to get project boxes out of the way because I know those are projects that I'm not going to hit. Now, I did keep 4. I looked up here. I did keep 4 boxes of projects that I would like to do. They were the ones that were harder for me to say, well, I think I can get rid of this. Those are hard projects for me to do that too right now. I love getting the project boxes because a lot of times they're things that I probably wouldn't buy on my own. But I am saying that I'm getting rid of more boxes than I'm actually working. And that's not a good sign. But with Sew Sampler, I like getting that because I then get to see a lot of newer things that come out. And friends, the only subscription boxes that I get on a monthly or bi-monthly basis is Sew Sampler, which is by Fat Quarter Shop, and Creative Notions. Those are the only 2. Now, I do have a Creative Notions box sitting over here. I don't know if I have another one. I don't think I do. I think the last one I did get the Project in It done. I think that's the Carol Thielen Trip Around the Block. If I'm not mistaken, that was it. And I did get that quilt done. Well, I didn't get it quilted or anything like that. That is one of the quilt tops that is in my Destash. But I do have 2 quilts. I actually have my next 3 quilt-alongs decided already because I've already gotten the fabrics for the May and June quilt-alongs, which if I have enough time tomorrow, I may cut all of those fabrics and box them up to have them ready. Because I don't like going into quilt-alongs and not having all of my fabric ready. Like this one, I still don't have my accent fabric cut. But it has been a time getting to this quilt-along because I was sick and had crazy work going on. But I think all of that's done right now. But I do hope to get all of these finished up tonight or to this morning with y'all. Guys, I keep saying tonight because it's Friday night when I'm recording for you. And I will be taking pictures of this step, putting them in the Facebook group so you can see what they're looking like. And we are about to hit an hour. So I think what I'm going to do is take the ones that I have on my machine off, go on and trim and press at least one so you know what they look like. What this step looks like. It's actually not any steps. It's just the next in line. So friends, this is what the next step in this quilt looks like. I will be finishing the other 47 and have these ready for you guys. Come Wednesday, we will be doing the next part, which is putting our accent on the top two corners, and then we'll have another accent strip that we'll put, actually that's the bottom. We'll put the squares on both corners, and then we'll have a rectangle piece to put on the bottom of this to finish out that piece, and then we'll start assembling our block. So friends, thank you so much for joining me this morning for the Saturday sew along for the Sunbeam quilt. This is the last one that will be done on Saturdays. These now roll to Wednesdays in April, because the first Saturday of April we will be starting a new sew along out of the Takes Two charm quilts, and watch the updates Monday night, and it will have the pattern listed in the comments or in the description of the video. I do think I gave the pattern name last Monday, but not real sure. But friends, give me a thumbs up. If you have not yet subscribed, please do. We have many quilt alongs coming up this year. We have many unboxings, shopping hauls, all the things. And you don't want to miss any of them. Feel free to leave a comment and tell me what you think. I do try to respond to each and every comment personally. And as always, until I see you again, I hope you have a very blessed day. Bye, friends.